I love the holidays. Christmas time is my favorite time of the year. But I won't deny, it tends to be the cause of a lot of stupid stuff if you're a wrestling fan. Now, you saw the show last week, you know what I'm talking about. So in that sense, I was glad that Christmas is over because now this show can get back to business. And this was actually a big improvement. The lame-ass comedy was very toned down, Kurt Angle was back to being serious, Eric Young and ODB lost and were eliminated from the tag team tournament. Thank you. Was the show completely devoid of stupidity? No. There were a couple things I had to tilt my head at, but nothing so bad that it made me want to hurt people, and I couldn't honestly say that last week. They do Abyss and Steiner versus AJ and Kaz in the tag team tournament, and in the twist that everyone except Steiner saw coming, Abyss screwed him over and the Faces won. Afterward, Bully Ray came out all pissed off, and Abyss books a match, because Abyss suddenly has the power to do that somehow, between him and Bully Ray at Genesis. If Abyss loses, then he has to rejoin Immortal like Bully Ray wants. But if Abyss wins the match, nothing happens. What? So Abyss doesn't bother to add a stipulation for himself if he wins this thing? He just voluntarily puts himself in a match where he has everything to lose and nothing to gain? You might be feeling a little confused by this turn of events. I'm right there with you. Maybe it's supposed to illustrate that Abyss is completely confident that he's going to win, but that makes even less sense. Why wouldn't he book something for himself? Like, if he wins, he gets 5 minutes in the ring alone with Bischoff or something like that. I mean, I know that Abyss has never really been the deepest of thinkers or whatever, but to not want anything if he wins, what the hell kind of sense does that make? The other stupid thing was, unfortunately, the X Division match. Another good outing between Nese and Ion here, but why the hell did this have to be a pole match?
Oh shit! It's been Russo! What the hell is this all about?
Seriously, isn't it about damn time that we took this stupid pole gimmick out behind the barn and shot it in the head? This was the least impressive match these guys have had in the series because you had to throw the fucking pole in there. You know, by pole match standards, it was still good. Still a fine performance from both men. The German suplex off the pole was really cool, but the gimmick was totally unnecessary. I can't take these pole gimmicks seriously. I just can't. It's a stupid gimmick. It was always a stupid gimmick. I can't think of a single person I know who actually likes these damn things. Ion wins, which is perfectly fine. You know, I would have been cool with either guy getting the title shot. You know, they've both been really impressive, but Ion's got more in the personality department, so I guess it makes sense to go with him. Austin Aries was good on commentary here. You know, they should have had him on commentary for the first two matches in the series. I don't know why they didn't, but that's how it goes. You know, minus the stupid gimmick, this best-of-3 series was really enjoyable, and I expect that to be a great match at the pay-per-view. Hopefully Aries will retain. I really don't see any reason to take the belt off him just yet, although this thing with him, Cash, and Sorensen feels like it's gone on too long now. But if Ion wins, I won't pitch a fit about it, though. Anyway, I like that they started the show off with the knockouts for a change, if for no other reason than it was something different than what they normally do. You know, I don't want them to ever get too comfortable with one specific way of doing stuff, because that's what we got most of last year, where every damn week they had to start off with a 25-minute Immortal promo. Now, you do things the same exact way like that long enough, it gets boring. So this was a nice change of pace. Unfortunately for my poor ears, they had to give Madison Rayne a microphone again. But, thank God, Sting came out and put an end to this. Basically, he says that the reason he didn't get involved when Karen Jarrett was the Knockouts VP was because she had the ironclad contract. But since Madison Rayne doesn't have that, he can finally step in, and so he just did what I've been hoping for and said that Madison had no power, effectively eliminating the Knockouts VP thing altogether. That was actually a plot hole I've been wondering about. You know, if Karen was fired, then how could she appoint a new Knockouts VP? You know, wouldn't Sting take care of that? That made no sense, so I'm very glad they just did away with this. And now that Madison is no longer the Knockouts VP, hopefully that means we'll be hearing less promos from her. Oh God. You know, when Sting was doing that impression of Madison, he was trying to be funny and sarcastic about it, but he was actually pretty dead on. Jesus Christ, woman, shut the hell up! You don't have to screech every single fucking line. Good God. I don't understand how anyone can enjoy her promos, because every single one of them sounds like this. I swear, her voice is like nails on a damn chalkboard. God damn. So Sting poons Madison and then makes Gail defend the title against Mickie James in what turned out to be the main event of the night. And this was kind of a head-scratching move, because also on the show you had Kurt Angle versus Bob Van Dam with James Storm showing up at the end. I'm not a fan of BVD, as you know, so I'm certainly not complaining about him not getting in the main event spot. And I do enjoy women's wrestling more than a lot of people in the IWC, so the fan in me liked this decision. But if I'm being realistic, Angle versus Van Dam probably would have been the safer match to put on last. The quarter hours haven't come out yet, so I don't know what the ratings did. You know, they might very well have gone up for this, who knows. But yeah, this was kind of a strange decision. I'll be very interested to see what the viewership was, because I really would love it if this match got a good rating. But following a Kurt Angle segment, you know, the cynic in me is kind of skeptical that the viewership went up for this one. To have Mickie and Gail be the match you hype up at the beginning of the show and devote a lot of time to in the main event, while Kurt Angle versus BVD is the match that you just kind of throw out there randomly for about 5 minutes, I'm kind of torn on this. I liked it, but I understand that I'm not necessarily in the majority on that. All things considered, not ending the show with James Storm standing over Kurt Angle after he super kicked Angle's head off, that's what I would have ended the show with. You know, that just seemed like the best cliffhanger to go out on. But there were a lot of different factors at play here. However they arrived at the decision, they gave the Knockouts the main event, and personally, I enjoyed it a lot. You know, it's good to see different types of main events like this from time to time to keep things fresh, and it was good to see a championship match be the main event, because titles should be important that way. And, I alluded to this before, you remove the Knockouts VP, and the Knockout division gets better just like that. Because that whole authority figure, whoever was playing the role, be it Karen or Madison or whoever, just ended up being a big distraction from the stuff that should be focused on. If there was still a Knockouts VP, I guarantee you there would have been someone out there fucking with that match from minute one. This is better. Here, they just let Gail and Mickie do what they do. You know, they gave them almost 15 minutes, and it was a good match. I thoroughly enjoyed that match. That was probably the best knockout match we've seen in some time, because there was no extracurricular bullshit going on for a change. I mean, yeah, it ended with interference, but it was a good long match before Madison showed up, so it didn't bug me that much. I mean, really, this was such an improvement over what we were getting before. Screw the Knockouts VP. Just get rid of that role entirely. Just have Sting handle that stuff from now on, and the Knockout division will be a whole lot better. And there was some other stuff I liked here, too. You know, the right teams went over in the tag team tournament, like I said before. AJ and Kaz versus Steiner and Abyss was decent. Joe and Magnus versus Eric Young and ODB was really hard to sit through, though. And ODB is tagged in, and Magnus isn't allowed to fight back because Spike TV says there can't be any male-on-female violence on this show. So the only way around that is to have ODB make Magnus look like a jackass, which is idiotic. But with the holidays over, it's time to get serious again. The finish, exactly what should have happened. Joe and Magnus win. I'm really liking these two together, I have to say. I'm behind this pairing 150% if it means a push for those guys. And hopefully that'll be the last we ever see of this Eric Young ODB thing.
Nobody cares about you guys. At all.
Also, they had a promo segment with Bobby Roode where he brought out this friend of his who told him what a selfish prick he's being. Roode eventually beat him down until Hardy made the save. This was really more about putting heat on Roode than anything else, and it accomplished that. You know, Bobby Roode, once again, was very good here, but I would like to see them add a new wrinkle to his character. Just give him a little more to work with than the I'm the leader of the selfish generation stuff, because it kind of seems like he's starting to repeat himself a little bit. You know, it's not a big issue yet, but I get the sense that it could start to limit him in the future if they don't stay on top of this. Generally, I enjoyed this show. Now, the unfunny comedy was very toned down, the right people went over, the X Division match was good despite the stupid pole gimmick, there was good hype for some of the pay-per-view matches. I mean, this was way better than last week, way better. And that's all I got for 2011. See you next year.